Now, with a solid grasp of Joomla's bare-bones menu management, it's time to elevate our skills with some Astroid mega menu magic. In this webinar, we'll explore features such as icon selections and badge options, how to integrate modules into the mega menu, and last but by no means least, some of the drag and drop functionality of Astroid mega menus. Going the extra mile, we will create our very own custom module and insert it into our mega menu. Join me as we customize submenus and unlock simple yet powerful techniques to improve your website's navigation. We kick off by looking at some straightforward bells and whistles formatting. We navigate to the menu section, specifically the main menu in our Joomla backend. Ensure that all filter options are cleared, and then search for the mega menu to access it. Then we make sure we are in the Astroid Menu Options tab. Let's turn the mega menu off briefly in the Astroid Menu Options tab, save and refresh, and note the changes in the front end. We notice that the mega menu is still displayed, but no longer has any mega menu functionality. On the one hand, the Joomla menu formatting side of things, meaning the submenus arranged in different menu header sections, is still working. However, on the other hand, the whole grid layout that Astroid brings to the mix is now missing. Before switching the mega menu back on, let's note some of the options available in the Astroid Menu Options tab, even when the mega menu is disabled. These are options we have regardless of what menu we are working with, even when its Astroid mega menu options are not activated. To be perfectly clear, in the Astroid framework, any menu can become a mega menu, and even if it isn't, it still has some extra functionality that it brings to the table. Icon options allow us to add an icon to a menu item. The currently selected icon looks like a stack of paper. Let's choose another icon. Any icon will do, and save it. After refreshing the front end, we see that the icon has changed. Let's revert this back to the way it was, and also note that we have an option to show icons only. Let's check that out as well. Save and refresh, and then put it back the way it was. Badge options allow us to add a badge to a menu item by entering text and setting colors for both the text and the background. We looked at similar functionality previously when looking at article type options earlier in this playlist. But back to the task at hand. So for example, let's use amazing as our badge text, and after saving and refreshing the front end, we see a small red box with amazing above the mega menu. Before proceeding, let's switch the mega menu back on. And in the spirit of a deep dive tutorial, we are going to add an icon and badge to a submenu of the mega menu. But this, of course, can be done to pretty much any Joomla menu. Using the skills we learned in the previous tutorial in this playlist, we will select filter options in our menu item manager and look for our mega menu. We would then select a submenu of the first header item that we see. For example, advanced typography options would do just fine. In the icon section of the Astroid Menu Options tab, let's look for and select a clock icon. In the badge section, we first switch the badge functionality on and then enter a text such as "End in sight." Let's also give the badge a green background. After saving and refreshing the front end, we see that in the mega menu, Our submenu now has an icon in front of it and a badge behind it. In the next section, we'll explore how to organize our columns of different menus in a grid within the mega menu. Once again, we are in the Joomla backend. Navigating to menus and the main menu section, we're going to locate our mega menu and explore the Astroid menu options tab in more depth. We see 4 columns with different items arranged in a grid, including menu items and modules. The drag and drop functionality allows us to mix and match various items in our grid system. Let's take our first look at a module, specifically an image module. By default, our boilerplate template has an image placed in an image module, which is located in the bottom left-hand corner of the first column of the grid in our mega menu. Using the drag and drop system, we can reposition it, moving it, for instance, from the bottom to the top of the first column. After saving and refreshing the front end, we see that the image has moved as desired. Now, we're going to drag an item from one column to another in our grid, so from left to right. For instance, let's drag powerful features from the second column to the third column. After saving and refreshing, the changes are immediately visible. In the previous tutorial in this playlist, we looked at adding our very own item, specifically a menu header item, to one of our existing columns. In the next section, we are going to take things to the next level, creating a brand new grid and populating it with items, including a custom module that we will create in Joomla. We notice the plus Add Row button below the grid that we have been working with to date. We click on it and see that we can create a new grid layout. Let's select a new grid with a total of 6 columns so we can experiment further, populating it with rows of elements such as menus or modules. Rather than going back to the drawing board, let's first move items from our original grid into the newly created grid to speed things up. It's all drag and drop, so I'm pulling items from each column down into the new grid. First column, second column, third column, and fourth column. Now we still have 2 empty columns, the 5th and the 6th. Let's add something to our new columns. Since we've used up all of our submenus, let's first drag the Home from Home menu from the 4th to the 5th column. And for good measure, let's also add a module, a login form, in the 6th column. After saving and refreshing the front end, things look a bit different. We now have a total of 6 columns, 5 of which have menu headings, the first of which still has an image, and the 6th column contains a login form. This setup is incredibly flexible. I have changed my mind and decided I don't want the Home from Home menu in the mega menu after all, and the login form was probably also a bad idea. No problem. I can just drag and drop all my individual elements back to the columns and rows they populated previously. Having put all menus and modules back the way they were, I'll remove the grid I just created by clicking Remove Row. Refreshing the front end, and things should look pretty much the way they looked before. I think at this point it should be pretty apparent that there are many options available to us. But before throwing in the towel for this boilerplate series, we are going to do one more thing. We are going to add our very own custom module to the mega menu. Back in the Joomla backend, we navigate to Content, Site Modules. We note the modules that are available to us, and we have seen some of these appear in the Astroid menu options tab, such as the image module. If we click on the image module, we should recognize the image from our mega menu. As a matter of interest, whilst we're here, Let's also note that in the module position section, none is selected as a module position. Astroid grabs this module one way or the other, as we will see shortly with our own custom module example. Let's close this module and create our first very own new custom module. We click the new button and see all kinds of different options. We're going to keep this simple and for demonstration purposes, search for and add a custom module. In the module tab of the module, we can add a title. We're going to enter "this is the end." And in the text editor, we enter something like, "That is all, folks. Please like and subscribe. And join us next year for more Astroid goodness." Without wanting to win any design awards, we can add some very basic text formatting. We note that once again, the module position is set to none, and we are cool with that. One last thing, let's turn the module title off, save and close. Returning one last time to the Astroid menu options tab in our mega menu, we look for the grid that we have been working with so far. In the first column, let's trash the image module by hovering over it and clicking the little trash can symbol. Next, we hover over the Add Element button at the bottom of our column. We click it and look for our newly created module in the Module section. We select it and refresh the front end. We see that our custom Joomla module, which does not have a module position as such, has been found and displayed in the Astroid Mega menu. It is my sincere hope that at this point you can at least appreciate the flexibility of Astroid. The drag and drop layout functionality arises repeatedly and is arguably the single most powerful feature of the Astroid framework for Joomla. We are currently taking a break here from the playlist and as we transition into the new year. In the upcoming year, I plan to explore the Astroid article layout builder in some detail. If you have not subscribed, please do so and watch out for our new mailing list next year, where you can sign up for some exclusive Zero to Hero training that I will be preparing shortly.